was a banger. I'm joined for another episode of One More Round with Mac Tyson, as always, only LARPing, and then a common guest recently. I don't know, probably heard of him, President Awesome. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? And another special guest. She's passed out, but
She's
my
gonna
wife,
sit in the air conditioning while you finish the podcast.
poor girl, she doesn't sleep anymore. So I'm
Oh
sorry.
man. Well, so
Definitely.
how was the trip for everybody? How'd you like Kickback 2? Awesome. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I absolutely loved it, and it's awesome. It just makes it all worth it. Like leading up to it, there's so much stress involved, and you want it to come out great, and you have this vision of what it's going to look like, and it's always nerve wracking. Like, will it come out how you wanted? And then actually, only LARPing walked up to me after the event, and he was so happy about it, and that made my year. I was just like, okay, we did it. Like that's his approval was everything for me. So I was really happy.
Hell yeah.
I think the most amazing thing about the event, though, was that, and I don't know if the broadcast ever showed this, was that there were giant screens outside the venue for passerbys to watch, and just naturally huge crowds formed around these screens to watch the fights.
Dude, there were people standing in places they couldn't even see the fucking shit. And they were just like, I'm just happy to be part
I
of
know
this. Like, bro.
the crazy fucker.
Yeah, there were like 10. Yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. How
One
many people
that was
did we get there?
climbing that giant pole,
Yeah.
looking for the fight. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
I told him to do it. I gave him $10. No, I'm kidding. But awesome. How many people do you think we ended up getting there?
Well, it's hard to say because, like, just like Mike Tyson said,
Mm-hmm.
the audience didn't know this, but we had flat screens all throughout the plaza, so the whole plaza was absolutely packed. It's hard to say how many people were watching, because people on the beach also behind us,
Yeah.
there were
Yeah.
flat screens there, and that was packed also. I mean, I have no idea, man. Maybe few. I mean, 3,000, 5,000. I don't know.
I think it's in the 5 to 7 at
I
least,
think,
dude.
yeah,
It
if you
was a
count the
grip.
plaza.
Yes, the plaza included.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you count the whole plaza, it had to be like at least 5,000.
Yeah. I easy, bro. That was insane, dude. And they also stayed all the way through the grappling matches, which I found interesting. They could even
Yeah, like
I was shocked.
there was a small amount of drop off, but you would have thought from like a more casual, like literally random audience, there would have been more drop off. But no, the grappling is so entertaining in the pit that there was a very small amount of drop off that left for after the main event.
Absolutely. Well, so awesome. We're all still reeling in from a hectic week. I've always said it's like you get a couple inches taller every time the fight card ends because the weight's finally off. We pulled it off. You get a little bit taller every time from carrying all that weight. But let's talk about the important thing. Can you explain what happened with Sam Alvey and Antonio Arroyo? And I got a video of you in the corner explaining to Arroyo's coaches. I thought you handled that beautifully. You did what you had to do, but explain to everybody, anyone didn't know what happened or they have questions. Give us the rundown.
Basically, there was a headbutt. Well, let's start from the beginning. Sam Alvey received like a huge injury to his ankle before the fight, and there was video of this happening. I built the warm-up area, the company we had, made a little lake.
Oh, wait, you cut out just for a second there.
Can you guys hear me?
You're cutting out a little. Are you in the elevator?
Yeah, but my elevator is usually special, and I don't lose service usually in my elevator. But hold on,
it's better now. It's better.
Take over for a little bit, and then I'll come back in about 10 seconds.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. While we wait for Awesome, how you doing, Only LARPing? We jumped right into it.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Back home, I assume.
Yeah, back home.
Hell yeah.
A little bit of quiet before everything starts going crazy for Dubai.
Whew. That's gonna be cool, man. That's gonna be way cool.
I think one could just
you're breaking up.
Exactly would you say kickback?
Where the loans? Oh, there you are. You're back, man.
I'm better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Dude,
So,
what
I
building are
guess
you
one
in?
good
He's going up
discussion-
like 1,000 floors. All right, go ahead, Mac.
I think one good discussion question, real quick, is because I saw the community talking about this. Is like, what exactly are kickback events now? Because the first one was a little bit more of like a contender series, while this one, or it was just all new people. Honestly,
Yeah.
that was the first one. Was all new people except for
Yeah.
Saeed Yakub. This one, it was more of a standard karate combat card. So, what are the differentiating? What differentiates kickback from a numbered event?
Well, the common factor with them, in my opinion, and I'm just saying from what I've noticed, we do it in epic places for the kickbacks. It's like I don't know, it's like Mortal Kombat or some shit. But
It's a
that's a
party.
perfect question for Awesome. It's a party. There you go. That's a perfect question for Awesome right there. We got to go over the
Yeah,
Sam and
it
Yeah,
might-
Antonio.
the way I look at the way I look happened was originally we planned back were to be just like Mac Tyson was saying, like a contender series with everyone loved it so much that we just went to use more on, and it's more of a party vibe. So that's the biggest number of kickback events, that there's more of that party element to it.
Yes.
So, would it be fair to say it's kind of like our version of UFC Fight Night, but with a party vibe and these,
That's
like,
exactly
kickback?
I would say so.
There you go. Okay. Well, run us down the Sam and
Exactly,
Antonio
I would say
situation.
so. Okay, so basically, Sam Alvey in the locker room, his foot's in to the flooring, and he actually hurt his ankle. If you go back and watch the YouTube video, you're going to see Sam Alvey slide into the pit, and kind of suspect for all of us. We were like, something was up. Why would he slide in like that? And Big Mike actually noticed right away. He said, "There's something wrong with his ankle." And as the fight started, he just low, and it's because he couldn't move well. And Antonio just completely dominating, and tell
Hey,
that
Awesome,
Antonio's
Awesome, we might.
footwork was
I
far
think we
superior.
need Awesome
I
to
think in
like.
big part is due to the injury.
You guys having a real hard time hearing Awesome?
Yeah. It's
I think we
breaking
might
up
need
real
you to
bad.
drop and come back, or jump on Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah, I think jumping on Wi-Fi.
Okay,
would be
let me.
best.
Sorry about that. Let me
No,
check
you're
that.
fine. It sounded okay to me.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
kind
It
of.
was breaking up real bad for me.
Oh yeah, I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't define it as real. Okay, yeah, that's weird. Maybe there's like an issue today. What the fuck? There he is.
Oh, nice. We got two Awesomes now, but the stream
We
is
got
much better.
HD, and SD. Awesome right now.
There's two awesomes right now.
4K.
We got a side profile of you right now on top of you.
This is. I don't even know how this is happening right now.
It's
I'm
a weird,
so sorry.
dude. Today's weird, bro. It's all good though. Okay,
Guys, I'm ruining your show, man. I'm sorry, guys.
No. Now it's crystal clear. We're good. We're catching you in
Okay.
4K now. Okay, so Sam hurt his foot, like you were saying.
Yes.
Go ahead,
Sam,
tell it, just in case. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Sam hurt his foot, and you can tell because he slid into the pit.
I
He
remember seeing
didn't
that.
walk down like he normally does. And when the fight started, Big Mike called it out. He's like, "There's something wrong with Sam's foot," and Arroyo just had way better footwork. He was just moving in and outscoring him, and it just looked. Sam was looking sloppy, and I think it was due to the injury.
And he was blasting his leg with kicks. That's where I thought it came from.
Oh yeah, he was
bad.
That's true. He was blasting that leg with kicks, and then there was this headbutt, and Arroyo didn't realize that it was the headbutt that dropped him. He thought it was one of the punches. And when your adrenaline is up like that, because a lot of people are like, "Why did he think that?" No, when your adrenaline's up like that, you kind of don't know what's going on. Everything feels like a dream, kind of. So. He just didn't know what happened. The Brazilian influencers that were there and fans, they were very, very, very upset. But I went up to them and I reassured them very genuinely that, it was a headbutt. I watched it like 7 times. And that's what it was, man. And it's fair and square. There needs to be a rematch. And who knows? Maybe you get Luke Rockhold, Joe Schilling's the winner of that fights the winner of Arroyo and Sam Alvey. I don't know. I'm just talking. I have no
Banger.
idea.
Is that fight happening at heavyweight 205 pounds?
Yes, they're meeting actually at 195.
195.
Luke Rockhold and Schilling.
So Arroyo kind of was visibly upset. And like you said, 100%, man. When your adrenaline's up, you could run through a wall and go, well, I'm not bleeding. You know, your ribs hanging out. But he's like started taking off his belt. He was clearly frustrated. It's not like you just chose to turn it to a no contest. Have they both agreed to a rematch?
They have both agreed to a rematch. Actually, Sam Alvey on the microphone said it at the event that he would give the rematch, and both of them obviously want the rematch. There's some other stuff that's kind of, I don't know, like some of Arroyo's fans are claiming. I shouldn't say some. One of Arroyo's fans is trolling me heavy and just saying that that I changed the decision and I robbed him of his decision and all this stuff. But I mean, man, when you look at the replay, it's very clear that no punch landed and it was a running headbutt. So I think it was all fair and square, and it broke my heart. I felt bad for both athletes, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rough one. From my angle, even with my footage, like it looks like the left hand is what moves his head. But then from your angle, you're right there. You can see it's clearly the head. But I'm glad to hear Antonio's down to run it back. And drop that troll's at. We can get him over at your gym for a week.
Yeah. We'll definitely reschedule that fight. I'm hoping for. They want May. It's too soon with the ankle injury. I'm thinking June or July. Probably July.
July in Nashville, man.
Yeah, exactly. July in Nashville makes the most sense.
Wait, you just drop news? We're going to Nashville? I'll bring my acoustic
We're working
guitar.
on it. We're working on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a huge crypto conference at the end of July in Nashville. It would be a good place for us to have an event.
That's awesome.
Well, so then touch on that real quick, awesome, if you don't mind. What do we have any update on Sam Alvey's injury? What he did do to it?
So he hasn't checked his foot yet. He says he's in a boot, but he hasn't checked if it's broken or if it's a sprain. We don't know how bad the injury is, but I mean, the guy's such an animal. You know, I don't know if you guys know this. He fought 12 times in 1 year in the UFC. So he fought every month. There was 1 year. He was the most active fighter in history for that year. You know, it's never been beaten. And he fought with broken hand. He fought with ankle injuries. He was telling me this, like he went through anything. So he'll never back down. And one thing I love about him, and that's why it's like so cool that he's champion. He deserves that because he said something interesting to me. He said that if he would have gotten knocked out, none of us would know about his ankle injury. He would never tell any of us.
Yeah.
Because he would never want to take away that victory from Arroyo, and he would have lived with it. The only reason we know about his ankle injury is because if it was a no contest anyways. Yeah. And I thought that was such a cool thing to say because I was the same way. And I remember I took a loss and I still till this day, maybe it was, I don't know, it's been like 8 years or something. I still haven't told anybody anything because I'd rather just say, yeah, it happened, done.
Yeah.
You know, and call it a day. So, yeah, so I really respect him for that.
Me too. And if you can believe anyone, you know, Sam Alvey, I believe that 100%. I mean, he got in the fucking ring, bro. Or he got in the pit. He got in there. I mean, like you said, I thought he was moving weird on the foot, and people around us were saying, like, dude, his foot's messed up from those kicks. And I was like, hell yeah, that shit's fucked. But oh man, dude, to hear that he actually had an injury going into it, I mean, who else but Sam Alvey? There you go.
Yeah, he's an animal. Most people would have pulled out in the locker room, and I just really proud of that guy. Like, he deserves the title that he has, which, by the way, I haven't showed only LARPing, or I haven't showed anybody yet. I have some new title belts that should be ready for Dubai, and I haven't showed anybody yet because if you guys don't like it, you know, don't worry. You know, I'll just eat it. But I think I'm creating something really special. I want to surprise you guys, but I don't know how to keep a surprise. So
it doesn't sound like this is show up.
It doesn't sound like you are, since there's plenty of people watching right now. That's pretty funny.
If he pans out his camera enough, he's wearing one right now, actually.
I messed up. I should have let that go. I got too excited, but I have something cool planned. So if you guys don't approve it, I'll just keep it in my house feel good about myself.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Brock can just see like, oh, you guys don't love it, you know? It's like, oh, I guess I'll just keep it myself. You know,
Yeah.
okay. You already have your name written in permanent marker on the back of it.
Oh yeah. No, I bought a replica that says my name on it just for the record. It says Dana Brown actually, just for fun, just to put it in my gym.
The champ. Yeah. That's funny as shit. Okay, well, any remark, like any before we talk, let you, just blast out Dubai. It's gonna be a banger card. But any last thoughts on Mexico? Anything? I mean, besides it just being fucking awesome, dude.
I think we should go back there every year.
Yes, thank you. Only LARPing,
Yes.
please. Mexico is one of my favorite places ever, so I would love to go back there often.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, especially both those venues were amazing. I would do them both every year, to be honest. Mexican jail to the beach.
Oh, I love it.
Dude, the weather was so good too. Sorry.
Listen to this. This is pretty cool. I was on a podcast earlier today, and I was talking about this, and they were saying, all these different locations with karate combat. And I said, look, listen to this. December, we were on the moon. January, we were in my mom's backyard. February, we were in Mexican prison, abandoned Mexican prison. And then in March, we were in paradise, in paradise on the beach. And now we're going to Dubai. Like, it's such a cool, plan scheduled, it's just awesome, man.
You should see me try to explain my job to people. They're like, why were you in Mexico? And I'm like, well, I don't know if you've ever seen UFC, but it's like Mortal Kombat. It's like, I don't know, but I'm going to Dubai next month or whatever. And dude, people, it's an insane setup we got. And I'm running constant Twitter propaganda for KC, talking about how the pit is the best viewing experience. And really, no one has an argument for it. We got the best backdrops.
No, nobody really disagrees about the pit.
Yeah, they don't. So, well, hell yeah, I'm all for 2 Mexico shows a year. Absolutely. I'm just right next door in New Mexico. So, but let's blast out Dubai. We don't want to take up too much of your time. This is your second podcast today.
No, I mean, hey guys, honestly, I love this stuff. So I could be with you guys all day. I don't mind, especially my wife's passed out, so it's totally fine, no problem.
No, I'm really glad you said that because we were planning a 3-hour podcast today.
This morning was a 2.5-hour podcast. I was shocked, but it was a fun time. So
hey, well,
no
plug that. Which podcast was it?
So there's a podcast called Off Duty Nick. So he's an officer here in Miami-Dade, like a popular officer. And they partner with Only in Dade. So it's a really, really big podcast. They have I think 170,000 subscribers on YouTube. Nice. And they're big in Miami. So I don't know if you guys know this. I used to train law enforcement and military for 9 years. Oh, so they used to fly me out to Fort Sill. It's the biggest military base in the United States to train the military there. And I used to train the defense tactics team in Miami. Teaching seminars every year. So I want to give back because I really love, the Men in Blue. So I want to just support them and get on their podcast and talk about karate combat a little bit. And it was great.
This is off topic. I'm just a statement real quick, but 100%, if more cops knew figure 4 and how to slap on a rear naked choke, there would be a lot of unfortunate circumstances out there sometimes. And that's not even getting political. Straight up, some cops need to learn how to just fucking choke someone out, bro.
Yeah, but what's I don't know I mean, every state is different, right? But you're not allowed to do that anymore. These officers can be arrested if they wrap their arm around a neck or something. So
crucifix.
Yeah. You could hold somebody, you could pin them, but unfortunately, I think you should just be able to strangle everybody. If the second you talk back to a cop, I feel like they should be able to just strangle you unconscious and put you in jail. But
bro. We used to do that in high school. You're take 5 deep breaths, you push someone in the chest, they pass out, laughs. Bro, you'll be all right. He'll be all right.
You can't strangle people anymore. Those are the old fun days. They're done.
This used to be a society.
It's not like that, man.
Well, that's really cool, man. I mean, what haven't you done? But let's talk about what you're about to do. Dubai. Break it down for us, brother.
So, what's really cool is every time I speak about Karate Combat, it's the coolest event we've ever done. It's just, I think we just top ourselves every single time. And Mac Tyson actually stated that recently, it's just like we beat ourselves every time. We truly do. And I feel like with Dubai, I mean, the things we have planned, as far as content goes, as far as the fight lineup, everything is so special. There's a storyline everywhere, and the content creation we have going on, like it's unimaginable. Like I was at the podcast and I was going through different content ideas that we have, and it's just nobody on the planet can predict what we have in store for them as far as what the press conference is going to look like, what the face-offs are going to look like, what the fight and stadium is going to be, our virtual background, the fight lineup, just none of it. Nobody can guess what we're going to do. And when they start seeing the content come out fight week, it's going to blow everyone's mind. And I can say without a doubt, it's 100% a fact that some of the things we're going to be doing has never been done in the combat sports world ever, without a doubt. The face-off we're going to have, what we have planned, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but the face-off we have planned for Joe Schilling and Luke Rockhold, it's going to blow the mind of everybody. I mean, that's going to be one of the most viral face-offs ever.
It's movie shit.
Guys, it is
movie shit.
I can't believe it's real. I can't believe we're actually doing this. And then on top of it, one thing I want to say, I said this in the podcast earlier. I tried to mention as many names as I could without being boring. But the team we've created here at Karate Combat, just everyone involved, everyone's a genius in their own respect. Like whatever they're good at, like Mac Malley, Mac Tyson, obviously only LARPing. I mean, all these guys, Darren behind the social media, everyone that's involved in Karate Combat. Enrique, Christian, I can keep naming people all day. Mackenzie, everybody. I can just talk all day. My wonderful wife. But anyways, everyone's such a genius in what they do, and they're so committed, and they're just working their fullest. Like this is their life. It truly is, and that's why it's so special. For example, the frame. Oh God, I can't give it away. The idea for the face-off that's going to be released. I didn't come up with that. You know what I mean? That was just our amazing team that came up with it. And then my mom's backyard was branded by Only LARPing. I didn't come up with that either. So many times people because I'm like the face recently. So a lot of people will give me the credit for everything, but it's just not true. It's just that everyone in this company is an absolute genius, but I get to have the honor of saying it on camera. But everybody contributes in their own way. And we're so lucky with the team we're building here at Karate Combat. Everyone's so special. It's really cool.
I agree. I've actually always kind of explained that to people. I'm like, it's really interesting. Like the reason Karate Combat comes off so different from other sports is, we have like these artsy, shout out Christian McKenzie, artsy like New York types that from film school doing production, Enrique, and then we have like fight ops, then a dude who's trained military, fought himself. You're a coach at a gym running, you're the engine here, the president. Then we got people like only like Mac Tyson, the encyclopedia. Yeah, everyone's like their own little Avenger.
No, you're right. You know what somebody called it today? I think it was on the podcast I was on. He called it like Captain Planet. It's like Earth, Fire, Wind, Water. And then
we Avatar up in here.
Combat.
Yeah. That's really us, bro. And it's interesting real quick. Like, I'm not trying to, but this is interesting. You've seen a lot lately, and shout out to the UFC. We all love the UFC. We stream on UFC Fight Pass. But one thing you hear a lot from the fans now is like a lack of creativity or like effort into the, promotion and like the 300 UFC 300 poster. I don't give a shit about fight poster, bro. I don't care. But even my on that one was like, well, I mean, you wrote 300 on a sticky note. Well, you'll never see that from us. So I think a lot of fans are coming over to us going like, here's some of the flair, because you see people complain that UFC doesn't let custom walkouts, dancing and stuff like that. And we're the home for that. I think that's really cool.
No, it's definitely, I'll tell you this, when I was first discussing with everybody at Karate Combat to become the president, I actually had another organization reach out because they found out that this was happening. And they wanted to offer me a similar position with them. Yeah, I don't want to drop the name of it, but whatever. They want to offer a similar position. And I said, guys, like, I don't even want to start a discussion. And they're like, but we can negotiate. I'm like, dude, I don't want to start a discussion. And the reason is because they're going to confide me into this like small box where I have to act a certain way. I have to speak a certain way. I won't be able to say this on a broadcast or that on a broadcast. And that's when I'll start losing passion. Like, I just won't like it anymore. Like, I love karate combat because we have such creative freedom and we can do anything we like. And any idea we have is like embraced. And that's why it's so amazing. So regardless of all the other benefits and wonderful stuff with karate combat, it's just like, it allows you to be free and creative. And that's what I love about it, you know? I really love that.
Well, I feel like the team feels that way as well. You know, I can express like an interesting voice from Karate Combat through Twitter. You know, like we joke around, we have fun. I think people love that, man. I mean, like look at the Fight Island thing that, and again, I'm not trashing the UFC or anything, but like they sold the whole Fight Island thing forever. Like they even released graphics on the beach, and we're like, you know, then it ended up not being on the beach, not even close, and then. Hey, we should do one in fucking President Awesome's mom's backyard, only LARPing. And then, hey, why can't we just do it on the beach? Because we weren't originally. And then you guys are like, yeah, fuck it. Put the fucking ring on the beach, bro. Like, why not? I don't know.
I still want Karate Island in Puerto Rico.
It makes a lot of sense though why nobody else does it, because
it's hard.
It's extremely hard and actually also very risky to the event, to be honest. Like both you know, every event this year could have got fucked up, to be honest with you. None of them did, but there was like serious risk to all of them. So it makes sense that nobody else does it. It's not like we like, you know, invented some like secret thing that's easy and anybody else could copy, because honestly, like most people just aren't crazy enough to try, to be honest.
Well, that's why our after parties go so hard. Our after parties, everyone, we pulled it off again, and that goes back to what President Awesome's saying. You got the Avengers here, man. Like insurmountable on the beach. Watch it. Watch us. You know, I'm proud of the team. What were you gonna say, Mac?
Real quick, I posted a reel, like a highlight reel of Goyito before this podcast, and it's been interesting because I've been getting notifications throughout it, but I literally just saw Jesus Lopez and Goyito starting to get into it in the comment section. So what about that fight?
That's a great one to plan out. I like that a lot. I mean, Goyito, I think he has a lot of promise. I mean, he really makes it a war. He's an exciting fighter. I think he's definitely, I mean, he's going to become a top contender at our bantamweight division. To be honest, when I was looking at it, by the end of the year, with all the great fighters that are signing with us and everybody coming over to Karate Combat, we have a pretty unbelievable roster. It's like, it's really terrifying, you know, and the top 10 of each weight class is kind of shifting, and the level's getting a lot higher. And I think we're going to see a lot of guys that were maybe in the top 5. All of a sudden, some guys are going to be dropping, and some of these newer guys that are coming in are going to be taking over. And it's just, the level's getting crazy. It's really, really impressive.
But cool, Jesus Lopez, though, is the fighter that is really just showed at Kickback, too, that you can't also underestimate these vets.
Standing the ground for KC, yes.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I think not only Jesus Lopez demonstrated that, I think Owen Chelmier.
Yes.
I know he lost, man. I know he lost, but the reason why I'm mentioning him is because for me, that was the most impressive, because Goyito was 7-2 in the UFC. And that's an unbelievable record. 7-2 in the UFC. I don't know how he got cut. I don't know what happened, what was the reason, but that's an unbelievable record in the UFC. So for Owen Chelmier to go a 6th round with him, and in all honesty, man, I'll even tell you, I thought Owen won the first, the majority of the first 5 rounds. Mm-hmm. I thought maybe it was a split decision and he was forced for the 6th round, and then he just lost the 6th round, which I get. But man, I thought he won that fight. So
I did too.
It just shows like what's up. But definitely like these average to lower level guys are going to be weeded out, and you're going to see only guys like Chelmier, Jesus Lopez, Goyito. It's going to be Sayed Yoka. Man, look at the names I just said. That was off the top of my head. These are crazy. That's only 135. Then you go into 150, and then you got obviously Louis Hasha, you got Scrivers, you got Varga, you got Shazabe, you got Alejandro Flores. Like, you got nasty guys there too. And then 165, now you got Rafael Alves. Obviously, you got Agaev. You got, dude, our roster is crazy. I'm getting excited just naming them.
Yeah, no, for real, man. I mean, like we're seeing new debutants every card, and if they don't show out, they don't come back. And I mean, like you said, kind of weeding out people, and that's what you got to do. You know, when someone comes over from the UFC that's 7-2, and our guy puts up a fight like that, it's incredibly validating, and it doesn't happen outside other organizations that
Not at
often. You have
all.
like it's rare if a Bellator guy whoops some 7-2 UFC released fighter, like
Doesn't
we're all
happen.
like. It's so rare. I can't even think of one off the top of my head.
Never. I don't know about that. No.
Yeah. So I mean, I was so proud of Jesus Lopez. He is a dog. He's standing the ground, holding the KC flag. He's our talent there. He held it down, bro. That was a banger fight. And shout out to Quiones. He should definitely get another shot. He threw the fuck down too.
When we talk about weeding out those mid-level to low-level guys, like obviously that you have your prospects that are still developing, those guys are going to stay. But what about the ones that have been veterans, but they might not have the most attractive records? Are they going to be just cut, or are they going to get an opportunity to fight and try to keep their place here on the card?
No, I think everybody deserves an opportunity to fight. I think that's fair because you got to also, I mean, you know this too, Matt Tyson. I know you're setting me up for a good question, but you can validate this for me. I mean, since the roster was a little smaller, you had really top guys fighting top guys off bat. So, I mean, some of these guys that are, look at Jesus Lopez. I think his record was 4-4.
Yeah.
And he just knocked down and almost knocked out, and he beat a UFC vet, and he's 4-4. So it's like, it just shows that these guys with these records, they were fighting top level talent off bat. It's not like usually you get built up, you work your way up the rankings, but since our roster was smaller, it was just the top guys against the top guys.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these records, like Bruno Assis, I think he's 4-5 or 5-4.
5-4 technically should be 6-4 because there's an error on the website that's going to get fixed.
Okay.
So
All right, well, that's not so bad.
Right now, Bruno Assis has the most fights in karate combat history.
Wow.
And no boring ones.
Well, as a 6-4 record, that's a pretty terrible record. But when you consider that he was fighting only the top talent, then it becomes very different. It's not like he worked his way up and ended up with 6-4. He was fighting the best in the world from the jump. You know what I mean? So I feel bad because that record isn't representative of his skill set. He went to a decision with Alejandro Flores. It was a great fight. He did a good job. He fought in elevation, and he fought really hard. So, yeah, these guys definitely will have the opportunity.
Went toe-to-toe with Gabriel Varga in his preferred range.
Dude,
yep.
Right? What the fuck?
No. These guys, they're going to be able to fight, and they can keep their 100%. They're not going to just be ignored. No way. No way.
Like we're sharpening iron with iron out there. We're not just giving people squash matches, and like we've seen a bunch of fighters with really questionable, well, not questionable, you know what I mean, like shitty records. Like some of the best and most beloved fighters ever that eventually came close or won a title or maybe a BMF belt. You got people like Robbie Lawler. It's like a 70% win ratio, I think. Like same thing with Jorge. He's got double-digit losses. And look at these guys. Nate Diaz.
Yeah, Asim's talking about increasing the level, and like just to give perspective of the former level that we're growing from was every single fighter on the Karate Combat roster was at minimum a world-class athlete with a transferable skill set. After that, it was just how much fight experience you had on top of that. Now we're going to even higher level from that, but that also shows why it was such a gauntlet for these fighters, because like sometimes these world-class athletes, like in MMA, like you'll have a world-class wrestler that transitions to MMA. They're not fighting like an Olympic judoka in their debut fight. That could happen in karate combat.
Exactly.
You fight an Olympic judoka in your debut fight, and you never fought full contact before, and you're doing it on 4 weeks' notice.
Exactly.
I still can't believe Agaev versus Daniels. I mean, Agaev. I did not see that coming, bro. Anyway, well, did you have another part of that, Mac? Because I had a
no. I
question
just
you
wanted
brought
to
up
give
earlier.
Awesome the chance to answer that because I know a lot of community members were wondering about this. I know some fighters were wondering about this. So it was a good opportunity for Awesome to give assurance that these other fighters aren't going to get ignored, that we are going to be weeding out some of the lower levels, but these fighters will have the opportunity to prove that they belong here and show what real karate is about.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, 100%. Well, so let me, Mac, I'll ask your question. We did it in the marketing meeting the other day, and I thought this would be this is a good question, I think, for the people out there. Like, other organizations come around. UFC is the biggest marketing machine and the biggest league in the sport. Uh, yeah, like we're going to have Luke Rockhold fight Joe Schilling. If you don't know who Joe Schilling is, you're not a combat sports fan, man. Uh, Nasty striker, kickboxing. I think he was champ, right? But anyway, what would you say?
Bellator middleweight kickboxing champion, Glory veteran.
There you go.
Glory champ too.
No,
Yeah.
he was. Oh yeah, that's right.
I think he was.
Yeah.
But Mac, you asked in the marketing meeting the other day. You said, "Yo, what's the storyline for Luke Rockhold versus Schilling? Like, how are we tying this in?" And we all kind of came to a unanimous agreement that like it's just a sick fight. So when you get like people, yeah, remember that was funny as hell. It was like you were like, yeah, that's fair, okay, but like the people that sit there on the internet and say shit like, oh, washed up, or like, oh, this would have been fun 5 years ago, or you're just getting these what would you say to them? Because I mean, it's a sick fight. It is a sick fight. But what would you say to those people that say we're just using washed up like UFC fighters to headline a card?
Man, honestly, when you look at, like, we had Anthony Pettis versus Benson Henderson when they fought each other, that looked like a world-class striking fight to me. That was unbelievable. You're talking about two UFC former world champions that went against each other, and I really love that fight. I think Benson Henderson surprised a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think it was controversial. I think a lot of people some people thought that Benson won, some people thought that Pettis won, and that showed how great the fight was. By no means did you see anybody gassing and had their hands on their knees crouched over. Not at all. You saw two very, very ripped, athletic, former UFC world champions fighting in the most violent combat sport on the planet right now. And I think that's what you're going to see with this fight too, with Luke Rockhold and Joe Schilling. I mean, it's going to be a really violent fight. And, that's just any fight that Joe Schilling is a part of. It's going to be a violent fight. And then Luke Rockhold, a lot of people, it kind of makes me sad for him because a lot of people roast him about what happened with Mike Perry in the bare knuckle. But the thing is, Luke Rockhold has always been a kicker. Like, he's always been a phenomenal kicker. It's like very strange that you would roast this guy for losing to like a bare knuckle Mike Perry, which is the greatest art. Like, Mike Perry's sport is bare knuckle boxing. Like, that's what he's good at. And then you take away like Luke Rockhold's strongest weapon, and then you make fun of him for losing. And it's like, well, that's not really what it is. That's not the context of the situation. Most people, actually, what am I saying? Mike Perry's undefeated in bare knuckle boxing, and it fits him perfectly. It's a street fight. Now, when you add kicking in there, I think it's a very different element, and I think that's Luke Rockhold's strength. So I really think you're going to see Luke Rockhold shine, and he's going to show good skills. And I think you're going to see Joe Schilling shine and show great skills. And we'll find out who's better. And I have no idea who's better.
And we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about them, like, Luke just taking him down and exposing that he's a kickboxer or something. Like, they're going to fucking fight. And
that's another thing.
Yeah, that's why our rule sets the shit. The thing about Mike Perry is funny as hell. That dude straight up loves getting punched in the face. It's like God created him one day. He's like, you know what, bro? I'm making another UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, no, like, he was created for bare knuckle boxing. He's the most exciting, violent bare knuckle boxer I've ever seen. And I love watching him. I love seeing him succeed. But wait, I just totally realized you have a podcast, right? You're on the podcast. Yeah, you're on the podcast with him. Well, he knows it, that there's just some sort of connection that I have with him and his wife, and I really support. I don't know why. I just feel like I just love seeing them succeed, and they love seeing me succeed. It's like a weird thing we have, and just every time I see him win in life, I'm just so happy. And he has his beautiful kids, and he cherishes his wife, and he fights and he wins, and he's so funny the way he talks. Like, I just love everything about the Platinum family, and he's like a huge supporter of us too. But again, the whole point was they're just different sports, man. Like, I don't think Luke Rockhold is made for bare knuckle boxing because it's just the street. You're taking away his best weapon.
He used his hands to set up kicks. That's why I
Yeah.
picked Mike versus MVP. People were like, dude, what? MVP?
Oh, it's very obvious that was going to happen.
Yeah,
Very
dude,
obvious.
MVP is going to style in, break his hand, and he's not going to be able to kick. I was like, Perry's going to eat that shit, walk him down. And then Luke being as big as he is, I mean, he kicked me at the Power Cube in the pit. That's on, dude, he hit me with like Joe Rogan has like 150 kick. Only LARPing goes, I remember that. Dude.
I was looking for it today, actually.
I'll find it. Dude, he kicked the shit out of my chest, bro. He's like, let me kick it on your chest. And I'm like, because that Power Cube's not like a pad, dude. It's like a styrofoam machine.
And I think that both of them have something to prove to fans. Obviously, they have a lot of fans, but they have a lot to prove, meaning that, with Luke Rockhold, with that performance with Perry, I mean, it wasn't his sport. And, he didn't want to continue fighting, which I totally get because I wouldn't even want to step in the pit.
Were hanging out.
Yeah, man. And it's just it's not his sport, man. It's not his combat sport. So I think he needs to show the fans that I can still fight, guys. Just give me my tools. Let me do what I'm good at, and I can fight. And I think he is going to prove that. And then with Joe Schilling, same thing. He has a lot to prove too. He's accomplished so much, but because of fight cancellations, he actually confided in me the other day and was telling me about this. Fight cancellations, a lot of BS. He hasn't fought for like 2.5 years, and he's been expecting to fight. He's been ready to fight, and things have been canceled over and over because of COVID, because of a lot of different things. He tested positive once, then his coach tested positive. There was just a big mess, and he is in such a place where he wants to fight so bad. So both these guys have a lot to prove to their fans, and it's gonna make for a violent fight. It's gonna be amazing. It really is.
I will be shocked if this goes to decision. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll be shocked. I don't see that happening.
I will say though,
shout out to his question mark kick. Go ahead, Mac.
Luke Rockhold does also have an advantage because, like as McMalley talked about earlier, he hit the power cube, but he did that in the pit. He's had time to play with the pit. He understands much better the dynamics of the pit because he's actually got to physically feel what it is to just play around in it. Then on top of that, he's for years now, he's been training with one of the fighters on the Karate Combat roster, Damian Villa, in Taekwondo. So he has that connection with our fighters on our roster. Damian Villa was trained under his coach for this rule set. So his coach is familiar with this rule set. Plus he has that great resource in Villa who knows what it's like to fight in the pit. So he is very well prepared to have a good fight camp to prepare for this rule set. While Joe Schilling, he comes from more of a kickboxing, Muay Thai background. This is completely new to him. The professional karate is a much different sport than those two sports, even though they're all striking-focused sports.
Absolutely. That's why we call you the encyclopedia, man. Like,
Expert.
I love it.
Expert.
The expert.
Correct.
I like encyclopedia, man. You got all the knowledge, man. It's a compliment. I love it. Well, yeah. What is there any other fights you've announced for Dubai?
Yeah, definitely. So here's the thing, man. We have this unbelievable headliner, and then we have a couple other things to go through. So we're gonna have karate versus Muay Thai, okay? And here's the thing: it's a historical thing. Mac Tyson can probably say the exact month, day, and year for karate versus Muay Thai with Master Oyama. What is it, Mac Tyson?
I actually didn't memorize the date, but it happened back in the early 60s, I think 1964.
That's enough. That's close enough.
He goes, but I do remember it was a cold, overcast day.
Yeah, no, I actually know the full story. They were originally scheduled for a certain month that didn't work out. They got moved to another month. They had a full training camp, and it was three karatekas. One of the karatekas was actually a late-term replacement, and out of those three, only the late replacement lost against the Muay Thai fighters. 2 out of 3 beat Muay Thai back in the 60s. And since then, despite that, karate has lost a lot of respect. So the idea, and Asim can talk about this, the idea of this is to show karate's back, baby. And not only are we going to match 2 and 3, we're going to beat 2 and 3.
Exactly.
Look at Mac out here cutting promos. Karate's back, baby. Let's go.
Now here's the thing, though. So we got 3 of our, top KC fighters, some top guys. and to take on 3 Muay Thai world champions. We got world titleists, one of them being Y2K Fairtex, who fights for 1 championship, very big name. And then 2 other world champions. On the other side of things, karate, Raymond Daniels is sort of the captain of Karate Combat, leading the team. And it's going to be 3-on-3, and I think by the end of it, we get to prove how special karate is becoming. And this is what the revolution is. Now, here's the thing. There's been big pushback by these Muay Thai guys of like, hey, this isn't fair. Where are my thigh kicks? That's a big part of my game. This isn't a fair experiment if you don't allow thigh kicks. Hey, this isn't a fair experiment if you don't add the Thai clinch for us. So we've discussed with these guys and only LARPing, we should probably figure out, maybe we can put this to a vote. We're trying to figure out the what do you call it? The most fair way to do this experiment. Should we do a modified rule set where for those 3 fights, we allow them to use their tools of the thigh kicks, so that way they can feel it's a little more fair shots. What do you think?
Anything else besides thigh kicks? Also elbows or?
Ooh, dude, I fucking love elbows, bro. We're not doing multiple fight nights, bro. We could get some cuts in there. I say you just outlaw the plum.
Could I bring the historical perspective about this?
Please.
That seems fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the historical perspective of this is most of the time with these challenge matches, when they used to do these types of things, the idea was you have a rule set that you came from. We have a rule set that you came from. We're the best in each other. Let's find a middle ground that we can use both of our weapons effectively. Now, but the interesting thing about the Muay Thai versus Kyokushin fight was Kyokushin fighters are like, fighting's fine. You wanted me to fight Muay Thai rule set? I fought bare knuckle. You want me to put on big gloves? I'll put on big gloves for the first time. I'll fight with elbows. I'll fight with clinch. They fought under Muay Thai rule set. So there's an argument that they should, if in the first round we fought under their rules, shouldn't they play our game?
Well,
But I want everyone that's watching right now to write in the discussion. Should the Muay Thai fighters play our game, or should we give them a handicap and meet them in the middle?
Well, I think there's no benefit for karate guys. Like, they don't have anything. They're already used to this rule set. I think it's fair to give the Muay Thai fighters thigh kicks. I don't think you allow the plum. You don't allow, the clinch.
Well, the plum is, speaking of which, that's the next kick that is coming up. But the plum is likely going to already be legal. So they already have the plum. They already have the sweeps. They just don't have the thigh kick.
The plum.
I'll tell you something crazy that a lot of people don't know. So the thing about Karate Combat is so cool, man. Karate Combat is the most realistic striking form on the planet because it takes into consideration those takedowns. And when you don't have takedowns, you can do very unrealistic things. Like, for example, those clinch fighting for the Thai plums, when you watch Muay Thai fights, they're sitting there and doing all this stuff. Yeah, sure. Sayed Yokup is going to hip toss any Muay Thai fighter on the planet the second they try to do something dumb like that. They can't sit there in a clinch fighting. They can do it for maybe a second, but it's not going to look like Muay Thai. This is going to be a hybrid type of fight. And I'm really excited to see what it's going to be,
I'm genuinely pumped. I have one request, and I can't believe I just thought of it. Please, even if you just have to cut some of the pants, get some Karate Combat Muay Thai shorts.
Already happening.
Let's go. All right,
yeah,
so I'm late to the party, but there you go.
That is one rule, though, that we'll have to change just for those challenge matches is just to make it fair, is that, like, in Karate Combat's rule set, you're allowed to grab the pants and grab the belt for takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
For just those matches, if it's possible with the commission, that shouldn't be allowed if the other fighter's wearing Muay Thai shorts.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I can definitely discuss. I have Mike DePietro. I don't know if I'm supposed to say his name publicly or whatever. I have him creating. I did first and last name too.
What's his address? Okay. Drop his social for us real quick.
He used to do a lot of public interviews for.
Yeah. No,
okay. Well, I have him creating Karate Combat Muay Thai shorts for those athletes. Because there needs to be a clear distinction. Here are the karate representatives. Here are the Muay Thai representatives.
That's badass.
I also want to get the for the walkouts that Muay Thai the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
They walk out to that. And there needs to be a big distinction. And I want the Muay Thai community to know that we respect them. We're staying true to their cultures, and I want them to love it as well. You know, because at the end of the day, I want them to become fans, and I want more of them to invade karate combat, and we can keep playing this game. I'll tell you this: what kind of stinks, the original captains of Team Karate and Team Muay Thai. Unfortunately, it can't happen because Rafael Agaev got injured. So the original captain was Rafael Agaev as the main event, taking on, and we were discussing with Buka.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
I knew you were going to say a crazy name, but
yeah.
you hit the highest.
Unfortunately, Agaev got injured, and we had to scrap that bout. So right now, to be honest, it's only 2 representatives from karate versus 2 representatives from Muay Thai. We're trying to find a short notice representative for the 3rd match. Regardless of what happens, even God forbid it's only 2, we can go ahead and have that 3rd and final matchup maybe later this year. Who knows?
No one's doing it like this, man. No one's doing it like this. No one's doing it like this.
Oh, and then if you want me to continue through the card, so you got a beautiful headliner main event. You got the karate versus Muay Thai 3 matches, which are going to be phenomenal. And then what's interesting, and this is not very big on this side of the world in the U.S. and it's not so big here. But
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, there's a huge rivalry between 2 countries. So Pakistan and India have a huge sports rivalry. It's like historical as far as cricket goes. I've never watched cricket in my life, but allegedly it's the most viewed sport competition in history, which is Pakistan versus India cricket. So we're going to go ahead and do Pakistan versus India in a real fight. It's a very sensitive topic because I didn't realize
it's nasty.
Yeah, I didn't realize the history there, how much conflict's going on there. So it's a little bit of a sensitive issue, but we're hoping, and I'm going to reemphasize to all those athletes specifically, hey, I don't like putting a leash on a fighter. I don't like telling them what to say or how to act. But it's very important. I'm going to have a Zoom call with all of them together that they can be as savage as they want, but there must be a certain line of respect because it is no longer about them as an athlete. It is about their countries. They're representing, billion people. You know what I mean? So there has to be a line that can't be crossed because it's not about them anymore. It's surpassed to, their own countries are representing and are going to be watching them. This is really, really, really big. So we want to make sure, there will be blood spilled on the floor, but at the end of the day, they need to respect each other. And I'm hoping that will happen, So far, it's not the case.
No, it's going to be after. When you let your 2 homies, you like both of them, you're like, guys, just fucking go in the bathroom at lunch and figure this out, shake hands, man. We're just providing a platform for these 2, rival countries to let 3 people figure it out, It
would be a terrible idea. I'd for sure get canceled. But if you did 2 rival countries, you just do a whole card like that with different countries. I'm not going to say any names, but you can figure out the main event of which countries that would be. It would be pretty interesting. I mean, it would cause.
We might solve world peace, bro. We might
figure it out. Or you might just destroy the world.
That was the plot line for Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Really? I don't know if I've seen that.
It is. Yeah. It was USA versus Russia in Rocky 4, right?
Yeah, Soviet Union.
Oh, man, we could do some crazy matches.
Rocky ended the Cold War.
Oh, really?
Yes, he ended the Cold War.
See, this is pretty much a marketing meeting. We're figuring shit out as we go.
So, Mally, what country would be main event?
What would my main event be?
Yeah, which countries?
Wait, hold on. Only Larping was trying to say something.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say we could run back USA versus Russia, even though it's not like it's not as serious as things were in the Cold War. It would just be funny to redo it because of Rocky.
That's actually kind of fun. I like that.
Or the hockey game, honestly, we beat them in the 70s.
There's so many, even just within karate, you don't even need to go to other arts to pull in fighters. There's so many great karate fighters that want to even fight in karate combat that just haven't gotten the opportunity yet. Some of the best karatekas in the world come from Russia.
Well, Matt, that's one of your jobs that you're so great at. You sent me some huge prospects from all over the world. with karate background. So let's keep doing that and let's keep bringing them in for sure. I think it was good that we kind of skimmed over Mac Malley's choice for main event country versus country, because that could have gone
I was
bad.
being careful. It could have. I thought very close because we all know some obvious answers.
Just
out there,
let it
but
go.
I got a
just let it
curveball
go.
for you.
No,
North
no, no.
Korea versus South Korea.
Oh, okay.
There we go,
Okay.
bro. There we
That's
go.
not so bad because they
No,
can't
see?
be. I don't think they're allowed to watch this anyways. So
Yeah, we're good. I think we're
They
good.
don't understand what we're saying anyway.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But like, okay, we'll leave the other ones, the more sensitive ones alone.
The obvious ones, yeah.
Yeah.
World peace. Let's go, guys. Get it together. Everyone love everybody. That's a hilarious.
We have two very serious rival factions fighting in May in Austin. It's Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Nick Carter versus David Hoffman. They it got leaked yesterday in pretty outstanding fashion, and you know, it went pretty viral on crypto Twitter. And then Nick put out a little training video he did with Awesome and Goat Shed, and it's been getting a lot of traction on Twitter.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty cool. Bitcoin versus Ethereum, man. That's huge. That's huge.
It is.
It's like the Red Sox.
They go to
versus
war
the
every day on
Yankees.
Twitter.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
It's tribal as fuck on
It
crypto
is,
Twitter,
right?
bro.
MMA Twitter must look at crypto Twitter and be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
No, you guys are way more organized. We're not like fucking sectioned off like hashtags and shit. We don't have like a $sign in our token. It's just like your profile pic. That's a Connor fan, and then all the Khabib fans hate him. You know, it's a lot more barbaric. But you guys are at least organized, for God's sake.
I also love the idea of crypto Twitter versus MMA Twitter IFC event, which has to happen.
I think we do that.
Maybe for Nashville.
We can definitely loop in a couple of them. It might be hard to do a full event like that, actually, but we should definitely do a couple. Matt Malley, Bane,
just like that idea of IFC,
Booger.
I was so not about it before I met them. And then I sat at the press conference, and me and Dean Thomas look at each other and we're like, dude, these guys are amazing. Like, if the fighters spoke like this, they'd be freaking all Conor McGregor's, you know? And they're talking this huge game, and then they fought with their whole heart. It was unbelievable.
They're
it was
fucking each other up. They're fucking each other up.
Dude, they were awesome. They were just great. It was really cool.
There's something to be said about a bunch of like crypto influencers who are obviously well off already. They already won the gambling game. Now they're like, I'm gonna prove something. You know, I don't. Watching guys that have the money to not go do that and fight like that, incredible shit. Was
I think honestly though, that's
in a respectful way.
I think that's the most interesting thing about influencer fights, though, is that like you have these people that have no prior fight experience. That a lot of them aren't natural athletes, so it's interesting to see how quickly can people improve at a specific rule set.
Yes.
With all the resources available to them.
Yeah.
Man, okay. No, I won't mention that. It's okay.
We're gonna do a tell-all episode one time. Sometime we're gonna do a tell-all.
Only LARPing. He wants me to be 100% savage. I'm still filtering myself.
I tell Awesome like every few months that if he's not afraid of getting fired, he's not doing his job very well.
That's good. See, dude, bro.
But
only LARPing.
Honestly, I feel like the dynamic that Karate Combat should have is you have your president Awesome, and then you have your chairman Boss Rutan. Let Awesome go off the hinge. Let Boss Rutan be the more.
He's just gonna stand there and laugh at him.
Like
now.
Awesome is the president. Awesome is the.
He's gonna record it on his phone while.
And then you got Boss Rutan, the for traditional karate values, etc. as the Miyagi-Do.
It's a nice balance, right, of yin and yang. But I'm just so scared to Karate Combat's become my life, so I'm just too scared to like go completely uncensored. But definitely there's some uncensored stuff I wish.
You don't see as much canceling as you did a year ago either, though.
No.
I feel like the environment's a little bit less risky than
That's
it was.
so 2023, bro.
Yeah.
Well, let me define Only LARPing as a boss right here. He's one of the most unassuming, like I don't know if that's not derogatory. You know what I mean? Like, dude, the most chill dude in the world. He's got shorts. Yeah, he's not a boss. Half the people they'll be like, oh, that's our boss. It's like, yeah. And
he's
like,
not.
I was broing out with him 10 seconds ago. Here is my quote from Only LARPing that describes him perfectly. One time at one of the events, I think it was in Dominican Republic. He said like, "Aren't you thirsty or something?" I was like, "Shit, can't wait for this. Get over and grab a beer." And he was like, "Go get one." I was like, "I can drink," and he goes, "Get 500." And I was
That place was tricky because you had to walk up like, I don't know, it must have been 5 stories of stairs to get to the beer. It was in the corner all the way at the top. This was Awesome's. This was
his first.
This was right. No, it was right before. This is the event before.
Oh yeah.
It's in this 5,000 seat replica Roman amphitheater in Casa de Campo.
Yes.
And the only places to get beer were all the way at the top. And so it must have been like 5, 6, 7 stories of stairs to get a beer.
That's how you prevent DUIs. If you want beer, you got to make it up that bitch, okay?
I think if we ever have a Dominican title challenger or a Dominican champion, that's cause enough to go back to Altos.
That place is awesome. That place is awesome. It's just in the middle of nowhere, so it's really difficult.
Too humid for me, in my opinion. I had to cut my hair off for that, but
it's just like so far from the city. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like we should hit Romania at some point. You know,
okay, explain why. Why Romania?
Come on, everybody here knows why.
No, I'm. Oh, okay.
Come on,
no, I caught on, dude. It took me 2 seconds.
Everybody here knows why we got to go to Romania. I'm just saying, if you have a karate combat event in Romania, I don't see why. A top G would.
I think if that happens, Awesome.
Flooding already. I see them flooding already.
Awesome. If that happens, you have to get in the pit and fight him.
Bro,
hell yeah, dude.
Only LARPing. Okay, look, I've changed my coaching schedule around so I can get healthy again. So when I opened my gym, I was just 225% body fat, jacked. Like I was jacked, like huge.
Yeah.
Like my ears. Yeah. And then I got fat because I just started coaching so much and like pouring my heart out, with work that I didn't have time to take care of myself. So anyways, I've cleared up my morning schedule so I can start lifting again. The amount of juice I take, no sanctioning body in the world would ever allow me to fight. Okay.
Well, in Romania though?
Yeah, not Romania.
Oh, I don't know. But whatever the recommended dose is, I'm taking double. I am raging.
I think Romania will be cool with it.
Yeah, you should have seen when President Awesome here took one for the team to drink, pee with Lyoto Machida. It burned a hole through his solo cup the first time. We had to get glass.
Because my piss is yellow like a man. Right, only LARPing? Like a fucking man.
No, that Sprite looking piss. I can confirm. I filmed that shit. Yeah.
No.
That was great to see Lyoto at the event. That was cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, especially with his boy beating him Lyoto style. Go ahead. Sorry
man, that was quick. That was the fastest knockout of the night, right? That would be nice.
Will we ever see Lyoto in the pit? Because it keeps getting teased. Chinzo's fought in there. Bruno's fought in there. Weber just fought in there. We got the whole Machida family, except for the first Machida that won the respect of karate back in MMA. So will we ever see Lyoto in the pit?
I've spoken to him a couple times. I actually was speaking. It was very short notice about this event in Dubai. So it is a possibility. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but it's been talked about with him. We've negotiated. It's a possibility that might happen one day.
Okay, so pretty much what Awesome said right here was, beg me. I'll make it happen. This guy can get anything done, guys, I swear. Well,
no, it's kind of weird, though. Like, it's kind of interesting to me because Lyoto, I didn't know before Karate Combat, but most of these people, like, I've been friends with forever, or we know each other through the grapevine, or we followed each other or something. So it's like kind of funny because I don't think any other organization on the planet probably works like this. But like when they're like, oh, can you get Uriah Hall? I'll just DM him. So like, I don't know. Like I know all these people, so it's just funny how I go about it. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? You want to fight? Roy Nelson. Dude, I'm talking to Roy Big Country Nelson.
Dude, okay. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and it all started because I just find it hilarious. Can you imagine his belly hanging over the Karate Combat belt?
Dude, that's peak male performance.
Yeah. And honestly, he's so heavy that would be actually you would have to make that the heavyweight division, right? Or
yeah, who would we?
Fun fact though, Roy Nelson black belt in Shaolin Kung Fu.
Yes.
Yes, because he messaged me when I asked him, and he said, "I'll do Kung Fu versus karate." I'm like, "Oh my god!" And
What's
he called
with
himself the
Kung
Kung Fu Panda.
What's with Kung Fu guys, bro? Like Kevin Holland, wild as shit. You know, you got Roy Nelson over there. Dude.
Dude, I would love to put Roy Nelson. Damn, I had the matchup in my head the other day. I wrote it down too. It was Roy
What
Nelson.
one idea that I'm curious about you guys that I want to say is that like some people are very upset about like fighters that represent arts that don't have black belts wearing black belts in karate combat. So what if like for a Muay Thai with the Kung Fu guys they wore black sashes and like the Muay Thai fighters they wear like the black prajiad.
Well, I'll tell you this. Look, so like people don't realize this because there's not as much attention on these types of tournament sports. But for example, in judo, right? If you want to go compete in the U.S. Open, if you want to compete in the Olympic trials or in the Olympics, you have to be wearing a black belt. So, for instance, I was a jiu-jitsu brown belt, but I wanted to compete in the Olympic trials, you know, and I wanted to go to the U.S. Open. I had to put on a black belt in order to do that because I wanted to compete in the black belt division. And then I strangled virtually everybody and then got disqualified in the finals over some BS. But anyways, the point is I competed in the black belt division because I was a black belt level fighter. They didn't say you must wear a white belt and compete with the black belts. They wouldn't allow that. That wasn't allowed.
So the idea behind having these fighters wear the black belt is to basically say it's bringing back the respect to the karate black belt by saying a karate black belt is just as skilled as an elite Muay Thai fighter, an elite boxer.
Without a doubt, exactly. I think that's a great way to phrase it. Yeah, definitely. You know, how am I going to say, you know, Anthony Pettis is a black belt in Taekwondo. He's a black belt in Taekwondo and a UFC world champion. To not allow him to wear a black belt in karate combat would have been like absurd, man. It would have been crazy. Like you're competing in black belt division. Therefore, everybody that's fighting in karate combat is a black belt leveled fighter. You know?
Yeah. And honestly, I'm glad that we are keeping like outside of this one off with the Muay Thai shorts. I'm glad we're keeping the gi pants and the gi in the belt because there's a lot of takedowns in belt wrestling that aren't used in any other professional combat sport. Our league is the one striking combat sport that those takedowns can be used. You get to see takedowns that you won't see in the UFC.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
It's disappointing we don't see enough like belt takedowns on the street because that would be fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah, and it's perfect for self-defense.
What needs to happen? Look, Mike Tyson just mentioned self-defense. So I did a podcast this morning, and then in that podcast, they asked me, look, if you could pick one martial art by itself, which one's the most powerful by itself? And I said, well, when you look at the old UFCs, when there was no weight class, no time limit, no gloves, no rules, jiu-jitsu just, regardless of weight class, just completely just outclassed everybody. But I think that was also because there was no striking art that incorporated takedown defense or incorporated takedown. So they were just lost. You know what I mean? Like a Taekwondo guy would get grabbed and he was lost. The karate guys, the Kung Fu guys, they were lost. But now with karate combat, you've created the first striking discipline I've ever seen in history that has these high-level takedowns and is teaching their athletes to defend and be offensive. So it would be a completely different. Imagine throwing a karate combat athlete in a situation like that. He'd be able to defend himself perfectly fine against these grapplers. That's why karate combat's the best, man. It's like it needs to be the martial arts that's taught across the world for karate gyms. Like they need to teach the karate combat rule set. It needs to happen, you know, and I can't wait to see karate combat dojos across the world. That needs to be a thing.
I already have a draft written for how to go about that.
I love it. It needs to happen, man. That's the next step. You know, we should have pits. I know Anthony Pettis hit me up about putting a pit in his gym. I think it was James Vick in his gym. I want to expand my Goat Shed gym and have a true karate combat facility. I want to invite all of our roster fighters to come train whenever they want. And
we got to see if Chinzo's willing to get a full one in his gym, because if you got one at a full one at Goat Shed and full one at Machida Academy, then you're just dominating the U.S. because you got both coasts, and it will just expand to the middle.
Without a doubt. And then, with my gym now, even though I don't have the pit yet, I mean, fighters from the Karate Combat roster are flying in to just train at Goat Shed now, just because they want to experience it and they want to make the content and stuff like that. So, I mean, Owen Chaumier should be at my gym in a couple weeks. Javier Ortega moved to Miami, actually. Another athlete, Omaira, wants to stay.
Nice.
She wants to live in my gym, sleep on the mats with other fighters, which is wild. So she's down to do that for a couple weeks too. And it's so cool. Once we have a gym with dorms, a pit, the content we can create for these athletes and advertise them constantly, and have that pit and have it would be priceless. It would be amazing,
Having like a Karate Combat PI,
Yeah.
so to speak, would constant content.
That's what I'm talking about. And essentially, that's what I have right now. Like you guys know, I've told you guys so many times, I have like 15 guys living in the gym. We feed them 3 meals a day, 5 days a week. They have their training schedule. They coach out of the gym. I don't take $1, 1% of their private clients. I pay them for group classes. And yeah, these guys that come from these other countries, they can really follow like the American dream and make a life for themselves. I mean, if we have a Karate Combat PI, I mean, just like the UFC PI, I mean, fighters can fly in. Maybe we can have an actual organized dorm with like a twin bed, and they can sleep in there and have their training camp, have their meal plans, and, pick whatever coach they want to train with. We can have a variety of coaches for them to train with. And yeah.
And only LARPing goes, okay, hear me out. At the PI, instead of like healthy food, we have a bar. And we need to have a pool. We need to have a pool at the PI. And let's get a club. Uh-oh, there goes my dog. She's whining. But hey.
Honestly, old karate trick used to be chopping the neck off a beer bottle. That used to be an old karate trick that masters used to do.
I'm a black belt then.
Just
bro.
cut off the top.
I've never seen anybody do that in my entire life, though. There's no way that's
right
possible. There's no way.
Only LARPing. Do not doubt the knife hand.
If I had a beer bottle, I'd
I've
go
always
do it
wondered
right
about
now.
the knife hand. Is like you've seen videos of people getting knocked out from a knife hand strike to the neck.
Okay,
so
that seems
is it just a case of there not being a setup for that, or is it just too difficult to actually do on a resisting opponent?
Yeah, I think I think it's a surprise attack. So let me show you guys. You guys are gonna like this. Let me demonstrate this for you guys. So hold on. You can't. I might get too small for you guys to see this. All right. So check this out. So we're in a fight situation. If our hands are up, for you to attack my neck, it's too small of a target. But check this out. This is how you do the knife hand attack. So I'm sitting here. We get into an argument. And okay, I feel like it's escalating, right? I say, okay, this is escalating right now. Let me unbutton one button. Hold on. There we go. So I'm like, what's up, man? I'm from Miami. You're escalating this right now. And what I do is I comb my hair back. And that's loading my knife hand. I comb my hair back. And I chop the neck. Guys, out. 2 seconds, baby. It doesn't work anymore because I went bald. But
I was gonna say, dude, I'd be like, wait, hold on. He's rubbing his hair. Yeah.
Look at that. Look, you can't even tell I'm gonna do it. Check this out. You see that? You would never see that coming.
I'd be done.
Pro tips from President Awesome. But honestly, though, one thing though, for anybody that's like watching, even some karate guys don't know this, is that like when you do the kata and you see these movements that are sometimes like the shuto in the kata, like the bunkai, the practical application or interpretation of that is not actually a chop most of the time. It's actually usually just a frame, because you frame a lot in the clinch. The kata is where clinch fighting, karate's lost art of clinch fighting, can be found. But as my Muay Thai coach said, and that's why we're having this kick to bring back clinch fighting to karate combat, because you can practice on your own. Yes, it is beneficial to practice in the air, but doing it with a partner and also having that clinch sparring is the important step to actually applying the knowledge you know.
Definitely. And I think adding that in, we'd be the first. Oh, I love this. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, no way. Oh, you're kidding me.
Dude, those are 40s. I could do that, bro. I'll do that on
There's
the next
no
stream.
way.
I absolutely could, bro.
Without it getting knocked over?
That's a 40. That's a 40 ounce. That's a big beer. It'll hold up. Okay, watch.
The
Here's
guys
the deal.
just sent it to me in Discord.
Next stream, I will attempt it with a Bud Ice 40. No, I'll try it.
Do you even know a proper knife hand strike?
No, we'll figure it out though. Dude, I think everyone at some point has thought about karate chopping someone in the throat though, for sure. Like,
Can you guys hear it too, or no?
No.
No.
No way.
I don't know, man.
I'll do it, bro. I'll do it. I'm fucking telling you, bro.
I guess I could, maybe.
That's remarkable. I'm not gonna lie.
Do I have permission to try it next stream?
Absolutely.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Guys,
honestly
super random. Look, so this is super random. You see my eyebrow? I have the skill right now.
Yeah.
So my wife convinced me that I need to get Botox. So I haven't been able to do this for like a year because I had Botox, but now I can like raise my eyebrow. So I'm about to get it numbed out again Monday. So I just want to like really flex this eyebrow.
Dude, you have like what I tell Mike Perry all the time, very aggressive eyebrows.
Yeah, but watch, Monday is going to be numbed.
Imagine if you set like your iPhone passcode like that, and then you get Botox and you're fucked. You can never get in it again.
Yeah. Your phone's locked forever.
That's so funny.
You put too much Botox, man. My phone don't recognize me no more. I can't even call for a refund.
Only LARPing. I'm thinking about after Dubai to go to Turkey and get some hair. What do you think?
John looked great. You saw he got that whole thing. He was sitting pit side.
Oh yeah.
He was like a walking commercial for it. They were like advertising it all over the place.
I'm thinking about doing it, man. I don't know.
Well, God gives, they got to take something from people, bro. You got it all going. You could beat people's ass. You run a league. Like, he's like, I'll take his hair at least. And you rock it, bro. Fuck that. Don't bow down to that.
Stay bald.
Stay bald.
Well, do you have somewhere to grab it from? You got some hair in the back somewhere? Back there?
No, like my ass is kind of hairy.
That's not.
Oh, dude. Okay, wait. I take it back. Do it. Be like, this was all my ass hair, baby. That's a whole new definition of head ass, bro. I don't use Head and Shoulders on this rug, baby. I use fucking Axe.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess I mean, based on the laughs, I guess I can't use that. So
yeah, you're doing it, bro. You're doing it. You just
maybe chest hair or something. I don't know.
Ass hair is way cooler. That's amazing. All right, boys. I don't want my dog to start going crazy. I need to litter out. I'm
literally petting my dog right now just to keep him calm.
What kind of dog do you have?
Hound dog.
Nice. What about awesome? You got any animals? You a dog or a cat guy?
No,
I have a tiger.
My wife really wants a dog, but we're just not gonna take care of it. I already know it. So no children, no dogs till the coin hits. I don't even know.
Until you sail off into the sunset. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Only LARPing? You got any pets?
We have a couple cats actually.
You're the type of chill guy that would have cats. I have nothing against cats for sure. I got a featherweight dog. Oh yeah. Do you have
so you're telling me, Austin, you wouldn't want to have a son or daughter that's a world champion in karate combat or UFC?
No, I actually don't want my kids to ever fight. Just because I've seen what just like training fighters, it's just too much, man. Like it's just a lot.
It's pretty common though. You hear that a lot. Like I asked Mike Perry if he ever wanted Ocean to fight or whatever. He's like, he doesn't really like it, bro.
No, I would like to practice, but not fight professionally.
Always learn some self defense for sure. Well, let's wrap it up there. I don't want my girlfriend's kind of like freaking out because Banshee. I got really big dogs. Like my biggest one's a featherweight. I'm not kidding. 145 pounds. He's a big bitch, but he's a sweetheart. Anyway, any last remarks from this is a great one. We touched up on everything. So if you guys need an explanation for Arroyo versus Sam, we are getting the rematch. He covered that at the beginning of the episode. We got into a little bit of everything, Dubai, all that shit. Any last remarks from you, Mac Tyson? I'll start with you.
Just one thing that you just said that kind of piqued my interest. That I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts are. We have a huge number of lightweights currently in karate combat, And we have some pretty big bantamweights. Should Karate Combat one day open a bantamweight division? I mean, featherweight division.
Ooh.
Man, so one large debate that I've been having is to unify our weight classes with like the other sports, so that way it's easier for us to find athletes, because sometimes it's hard to find the in-between athletes, but that's just not something I've brought up. There's just so many changes happening that I'm not trying to throw everything at once, so just little by little we'll talk to the community, and if the community feels like this is something we need to start doing, of course, if that's what they want. But yeah, just little by little, like now we have the knees to the head from the clinch. And little by little, as these rules come in, I want to make sure the community's happy with everything we're doing,
Honestly, I think if you did it for the lower ones, you do 130, 140, and 150. That way, you just for the MMA guys, you just tell them, you know how you're killing yourself to make weight? You fly weights, you're going up 5 pounds. Bantamweights, you're going up 5 pounds. Featherweights, you're going up 5 pounds.
I think people are always fucking weight. That's why I don't believe in the 165 for UFC. The people,
yeah, but I just also think that
they're just going to go up to 165, lose, then go back to 155, or just go up to 175.
I think that's also just good because there are some like smaller bantamweights that would stay at bantamweight, but there's not a lot of flyweights out there. So I'd rather have like a really stacked 130 than less stacked 125 that is eating out of the 135.
Yeah, for me, it's just the 165 that everyone bitches about all the time. But anyway, that's interesting.
Which is funny because so many fighters were like wanting that in MMA.
No, it was like 2 of them. It was like 2. It was like Kevin Lee and one other guy he bounced around all the time. You think you give them a 165, they're going to be like, they go there, and if they lost, they're just going to be like, oh, I can make 55 again. Like, it's not going to solve anything, man. No one's ever, I don't know. That's my opinion on it.
Well, future discussions to have on what weights.
I like 130, though. That's a great idea, though. I'm with you on that, Mac.
I'm still psyched about this huge dude you were talking about bringing in.
Oh, yeah, Roy Nelson.
Oh, Roy?
Yes.
Him versus Mark Hunt, dude.
I need you to understand, big country Roy Nelson, one punch, vicious knockout power with a belly that will cover his whole black belt. Like, it's just, what else? Oh, and the mullet. What else?
The mullet's incredible. It's even better than Brandon Jenkins.
Yeah, no. Okay. It's Brendan Jenkins if he was like morbidly obese and had knockout power like one punch. It's phenomenal. He's like the perfect.
We need to start a reality show with Brandon and Roy.
Yeah, I got. You know what? Okay, so only LARPing. So, damn it. I'm sorry. I'm not shutting up. But Roy Nelson was in the UFC, and he was. I mean, this guy was just killing people like one punch knockout. And if he ever took somebody down, his belly was so huge nobody could get up on him. It was insane. It was like a superpower.
When they brought him on Ultimate Fighter, I was like, why are you bringing I think it was the IFL champion. He's by far the most experienced on the show. He was on there with Brendan Schaub, who knocked out Crow Cop.
Oh.
Kimbo was the star of that show. And I'll never forget what Rampage Jackson, Kimbo's coach, said after the second fight of the season. Kimbo had to fight Roy Nelson. Do you remember what happened? Roy said, nope, and laid on him. And what happened? He got beat, and then Rampage sits there and goes, you can't blame Kimbo, bro. He's got the fucking moon laying on him. I couldn't get him up either. Like, bro, Roy is a legend.
No, he's a legend. He fought bare knuckle MMA the other day, and he knocked the guy out with one punch. It was vicious. It was insane.
Yep.
Awesome.
Easy day at the office for Roy. Oh, Roy. Dude, we got to get Roy. That's such a not weird as in bad, but it's such a random call out. But it's
awesome. If he ever trains at your gym, Roy Nelson, you got to get Eileen and him to do a Shaolin Kung Fu for him together.
Oh, amazing, dude. He actually. So we've been DMing back and forth, and he just posted on his Instagram. If you guys want to comment, he just posted, "Which organization should I fight for next?"
Ooh, I'll hit that.
And he did that purposefully, like he wants to see if Karate Combat will be tagged. So it's kind of cool.
Okay, hey, only LARPing. You want some context on old Roy Nelson, the legend? Look up Joey Diaz karate. That's what he looked like. You know exactly, bro. I'll drop it in our little thing right here. Let me see. Copy image.
How have we not gotten Joey Diaz to an event yet?
Oh, we could totally get him there.
Oh, that's yeah.
Look in the message chat, right? Oh, I can't send images. Just look up when you get a chance.
Oh no, I know exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, that's hilarious. But guys, with that, should we wrap it up?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a banger. We could have done 3 hours. We could easily do.
Joey Diaz karate is the best way to end this podcast.
I think so. Yeah. All right, boys. Only LARPing. Anything else from you, brother?
No, I was just looking to see where Joey lives to see if we could get him to an event.
Oh, bro, that would be so banger because he's on some of JRE like fight companions.
Yeah, and they're really
when
funny
Eddie-
when they're doing like the dance, the drinking thing.
Yes, and then like one of his legendary call outs was Eddie Alvarez versus RDA. He's like, that's the immigrant mentality. You know, he's freaking out, bro. He loves this shit. And then with that said, President Awesome, anything from you, brother, besides fucking show up, buy tickets to Dubai?
Dude, Dubai, honestly, if anybody's watching can fly in, definitely do it. It's going to be a once in a lifetime type of event. I don't think anything's ever been done like it. I would say come early, check out the content, the things we're going to be posting, the activities we're going to be doing. It's going to be remarkable.
Hell yeah. All right, well, there you go, boys. Nothing but bangers coming. You know, we're on like a pretty much month-by-month schedule now. We're talking about Nashville. We're doing Dubai, Austin. Well, we're doing it all, baby. Maybe we hit the beach again next year. But with that said, there goes my dog now. With that said,
That
another
was actually mine.
No, you hear mine? Do you hear these things, bro? I got wolves, bro. With that said, one more round in the books. Let's go. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.